Hi, YouTubers. In 1992, two Frenchmen started a watch company called Bell&Ross. And the idea behind the company was that they were going to make watches suited for professional use, such as pilots, military, law enforcement, bomb disposal units, and so forth. So their watches were very functional and easy to read, no-nonsense designs. And I believe their early watches were made by the German company Sin. Well, several years ago, they came out with the line, what they call their aviation line, and that's what you're looking at, a picture of one of them right now. And the idea behind these is that they're designed to resemble instruments in an aircraft cockpit, which of course have to be very legible under all conditions. And as you can see, this watch is really super legible. I mean, you'd have to be almost blind not to be able to read it. And it's also pretty big. I'm not sure if this is a 46 or the 42 millimeter here, but they're pretty good size. And these are kind of an icon in the watch industry because there really isn't, they're really the first company to come out with this design, although they have been emulated by some people. Now the bad news. Like most Swiss or European-made watches, these are quite expensive. I believe the particular example we're looking at here probably costs in excess of $4,000 list price. And if you're anything like me, there's no way you can afford to pay that much for a watch. So the question is, if you like this design, what do you do? Well, you could borrow the money and buy this watch, which I don't recommend doing. You could buy a replica or counterfeit version of this watch, which I also don't recommend doing because that's kind of a crapshoot and you never know what you're going to get. I mean, you could get a workable example or you could get a piece of junk, and you're buying an illegal product and it's made probably in China, so you're dealing with somebody on the other side of the world. So I don't recommend that. So you're saying, well, if I can't do those, you don't recommend those options, what should I do? Well, one option for you is right here. I don't know if you can see this because my lighting is so bad. The PAkin men's quartz sport watch. Now I'm hearing what you're saying. Yeah, but this is some cheap piece of shit made in China. I wouldn't buy that. Well, I kind of thought that too, but I was able to read some reviews of this watch, and most of them are pretty favorable. Some specs on it. It has a 42 millimeter square case. It's about just under 12 millimeters thick, and it has hours, minutes, and seconds display. And it's available with 3 colors of numbers and markers. It's the red shown here. It's also available in blue, and it's available in white. And you are correct, these are made in China. And it comes with a rubber strap, which is a 42, at the lugs it's a 42 millimeter strap. I would say it's probably adjustable to fit a maximum of probably like an 8-inch wrist. And it's really super soft rubber. It's very comfortable. Okay, now what you want to know is, yeah, we know how it looks and it's comfortable, but does the damn thing actually keep time? Well, when I got mine, I set it to atomic time. I put it on and wore it to work. And throughout the day, I was checking it against the clocks. The clocks, I believe, are synced to atomic time in the building where I work. And I noticed that it was losing time. It was losing like, every few hours it would lose a couple minutes. So I thought, well, this kind of sucks. But upon reading some forums and things like that, the first thing you should do if it starts doing this is replace the battery, because that generally means that the battery is going bad. And when this watch comes to you, they give you a spare battery. So I popped the back off, which is really easy. I'll show you the back here if I can. Again, my lighting is bad. I apologize. The back simply pops off. I pried it off with my fingernail, and I put new battery in that they gave me. And I did that, and I set the watch to time.gov, and I let it sit overnight for 8 hours, and I checked it in the morning. and in the morning it was still keeping good time, as accurate as any normal quartz watch would be. So I wore it to work again another day, and it kept good time all day. I didn't have any problems with it whatsoever. Now for the bad news. This watch has absolutely no water resistance. It has no gaskets or O-rings whatsoever in it. So if you're thinking you're going to be wearing this in the shower or in the swimming pool or something like that, forget that. I would avoid all water with it. If you splash a little water on it when you're washing your hands or something like that, I don't think it would hurt it too much. But other than that, I would keep water away from it. The good news is that these things sell for the breathtaking price of $12.99. No, you heard me right, $12.99, which is extremely cheap. And I got this on Amazon, and it also came with free shipping. So for about 13 bucks, you can have a cool looking watch like this. Now, the case is said to be made of stainless steel with a coating on. Now, I can't really verify that or not. To me, it seems like a plastic, but it may be a plastic over steel. I can't say for sure. It's actually quite light, and it's extremely, for the big size of it, it's extremely comfortable to wear. That strap is just really supple, soft rubber that you hardly even know you have it on. Other than the lack of water resistance, the other disadvantage of it is because it doesn't have any sealing on it. The crystal, you tend to get moisture under the crystal, and it tends to fog up on you, or at least it does for me. Like when I get warm, like when I'm working or something like that, I tend to get moisture under the crystal. However, this didn't affect the timekeeping or the ability of the watch to run in any way. And as you cool down, this fogging disappears, so it's not like a permanent type of thing, and it's really, I don't think it's going to damage it or anything like that. Another thing is that there's no luminosity at all to it. The hands and markers are not luminous at all. So if you think you're going to be able to see this in the dark, well, sorry, but that's not going to happen. Normally I hesitate to recommend something this inexpensive, but if I recommend it to you and you spend $13 and you don't like it, you're only out $13. So it's not like you're out a lot of money. Another thing I have to point out is that the movement, it's just, obviously it's not a screw down crown. You just pull the crown out to set the time. And by the way, it's not a hacking movement either, so the second hand doesn't stop when you set it. The movement is extremely, when you turn the hands, it's extremely loose. So like when you go to push the crown in, you have to be careful, or you push it in and the minute hand will pop, it'll move on you. So it's, excuse me, it's very hard to set the time accurately. Once you have it set, however, well then you're good to go, because like I say, it's a quartz watch and it's as accurate as any normal quartz watch. I believe the movement is said to be made in Japan, a Japanese quartz movement, so I figure it should be a fairly decent timekeeper, being quartz and Japanese made. I should probably show you the packaging. The packaging is pretty basic. It just comes in this black cardboard box, and it has it's in like a cellophane bag, and then there's like bubble wrap that's wrapped around the outside of this box, and then this box was in like a plastic bag, and that's how it came to me. No instructions or warranty or anything like that. However, it came to me in one piece. It wasn't damaged or anything, so I don't really have too many complaints there. This watch is sold under the name PAkin, P-A-K-I-N. It's also probably the exact same watch is sold under the name Infiltrator by Infantry. You can find those on eBay, and you can find the PAkin on eBay. However, I noticed that some of the eBay sellers, they ship you the watch directly from China, which might take a while to get here. Mine was shipped, I bought mine on Amazon, and mine was shipped from California, and it only took about 3 days to get to me here in Wisconsin, so that wasn't too bad. One final point, if you're ever in a Sears store or a J.C. Penney store, if you have them where you live, you may want to stop in and look in the watch department, because it's been reported, and I don't know if this is still, if they're still available, but it's been reported that Sears is selling a version of this watch under the Structure brand. It's called Structure, and it comes on a nylon Velcro strap. And J.C. Penney is selling one called JF. Again, very similar watch, and it's also on a Velcro strap. And I believe Sears is going, theirs is going for about $30, and J.C. Penney's is going for about $25. Obviously, it's considerably more money than this one, so unless you have to have a particular brand on it, or you like the nylon strap, it's probably cheaper going with one of these. I myself would have liked the nylon strap as opposed to the rubber strap, because I'm thinking that keeping the watch up off of your arm, it may help somewhat with this fogging up under the crystal that I've been experiencing. So at some point I may try to find an inexpensive nylon strap to put this thing on. The lug width is 24 millimeters. So any 24 millimeter strap should fit. I saw a guy had one on a NATO strap online. It looked pretty cool. The bottom line, do I recommend this? I would have to say, at this price point, yes, I do. For $12.99, you're getting a cool looking watch. Obviously, it's very inexpensive. It's not real super well made, but for the price, I think it's pretty well made. And it has a mineral crystal. And again, it has a fairly nice rubber strap to it. So if you like this style of watch, you want to try one out, or if you're contemplating buying a Bell&ross and you don't know if you like this size or style of watch, you may want to pick one of these up and wear it for a few days and then see what you think. Or if you have a Bell&ross and you don't want to wear it like in a high crime area or something like this, you may want to pick something like this up and then just wear this. And somebody pulls a gun on you and says, "Hey buddy, give me your watch." Well, you know, you're handing them over a $13 watch, so that's really not so bad. So for the price, I do recommend the watch. I can't guarantee you that if you get one that you won't have problems with it, because obviously at this price point, the quality control probably isn't that great, but mine works okay and keeps time after I put the new battery in. The battery is easy to install by yourself. I think anyone can do it. It's a number 377 1.5 volt silver oxide battery. I got mine in my local grocery store. I got a replacement to keep on hand, so no big deal. So yeah, for the money, I recommend the watch. It's kind of fun. I've been wearing it for a few days. It looks really cool, and just looking at it, you can't really tell it's that cheap. It looks a little bit more expensive than it is. So if you have any questions about this watch or this review, feel free to ask them and I'll answer them for you. And as always, comment, rate, and subscribe. And thanks for watching my review.